Hi everyone and welcome to my first feature of 2022. In two parts, this one is about the Dany Bahar era at Lotus. Now, much has already been said about that time, some good, some bad, but I'm not here to judge, just tell you what I know and talk about the cars that were planned and some other things, and these are my memories of that time. So as always, let's start with a bit of background history to the story. Dany Bahar was appointed CEO of Group Lotus by Proton in October 2009. As a long-term employee of Lotus, I was used to CEOs come and go with their various 5-year plans, many of which never made 5 years. All we knew at Lotus was this bloke had come from Ferrari and Red Bull in the marketing area of those companies. I remember that a lot of work was put into building an Evora, especially for Dany, in black with a black leather interior. He collected it, drove off, came back about 20 to 30 minutes later, handed it back. He was not impressed apparently. He jumped into his Ferrari 458 and buggered off. Not really a good start. Shortly after Dany's arrival, quite a lot of new senior management would arrive. One was Donato Coco from Ferrari, who came in as head of design over Russell Carr. Another was Wolf Zimmermann, who came as chief technical officer, again from Ferrari. We now had about 12 directors, 13 heads of and a few chiefs. It all started getting a bit top heavy. So all of us at Lotus began to wonder what was happening and where are we going. A briefing was called for everyone to attend in the production hall in Factory 8, where we were addressed by Dany, where he outlined his plan to take Lotus to a different level, along the lines of McLaren and Aston Martin, and he gave us a brief on the new cars. Now, I think you could see the look on our faces and said, I know you're all probably thinking, we've all heard this before, but this time it will happen. Yep, he was right. It's exactly what we were all thinking, and only time was going to tell. A very large show business type launch was planned for the 2010 Paris Motor Show to unveil the 5 new models by Dany, which was on a live link back to the factory where we all gathered in the production hall.
And your host is Dany Bahar, Chief Executive Officer of Group Lotus.
There has been lots of speculation about exactly what Lotus is going to show here in Paris. And what you're about to see is the result of a year of blood, sweat and tears. Our future starts right here.
Please welcome the new Lotus Esprit. Supermodel Naomi Campbell and rock legend Brian May from Queen.
This is the car all the people have been waiting for. Please welcome the new Lotus Elan.
Academy Award nominee Mickey Rourke, the new Lotus Elan.
The Elite is our gentleman's car, and it will redefine modern classics. Believe me, it's not only elegant, it also incorporates some of the very latest technological innovations.
The new Lotus Elite.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new Lotus Elite.
Hollywood's friend of Lotus, Stephen Baldwin. The new Lotus Elise.
There is still one more car to uncover. Ladies and gentlemen, the new Lotus Eterna.
The new Lotus Eterna.
We've got a world-class team, we've got the backing, we've got the drive, and above all, we've got some incredible sports cars.
Lotus has stolen the Paris Motor Show. From the 1,200 people at the Lotus factory to the 160-strong team at the show, a host of celebrities, and the men whose vision has driven the whole company for exactly a year now.
The future for Lotus starts here.
Well, most of us looked on gobsmacked and said, blimey, can we really build these cars? It was pretty exciting, and apart from a few skeptics, we all felt pretty pumped up about it. That Christmas, Dany threw a big party for all the staff at Hethel, the like of which we had never seen before. All very glitzy, all the cars on show, free booze, free food, entertainment. It was a bloody good night. So that was the start. Now let's look at the cars that were announced. First things first, none of the cars at the Paris launch were real, just concept cars. They were all built in Coventry by a company called Concept Group International, which is now part of the Envisage Group Limited. Some were fitted with a gearbox and an electric motor, so they could move under their own steam, very slowly though. Now the Lotus City car wasn't wheeled out. I suppose it wasn't deemed exotic enough. It was a big showy event featuring a multi-million-pound show stand, supermodels, rock stars, Hollywood actors who were all apparently friends of Lotus. Funny is we never knew that, and we never saw them again after the Bahar era ended. Now the day before there was a VIP launch at the Louvre. I hate to think what the total bill was for the whole Paris launch. But that's how it all became from then on, to move Lotus to the heights Dany wanted us to be in. There was at last investment in the facilities at Hethel. The test track had about a £3 million makeover. Factory 3, my old workplace, was completely refurbed for around £3.5 million and to cater for the new Esprit build. Work was started on a factory extension to house a new assembly line and paint shop, and Dany had a very nice office fitted out in Factory 15. Everything was going up market, from the cars, the dealer network, who would need to invest hundreds of thousands of pounds to meet the new corporate image and standards demanded. All new Lotus dealers would have to conform to the new standards, and it was a pretty comprehensive list, from what a dealer should look like from the outside and the inside, including furniture, cups, saucers, glasses, even what the toilet should look like, and the workshops would be fitted out with Dura tool cabinets and grey tiled floors, all very nice. All dealers were issued with a very nice marketing toolkit to assist them in their journey to the bright new future. And of course, a new rounder was introduced to replace all previous versions, which would remain until August 2019, when yet another new version was unveiled. As an existing dealer, if you're not willing to invest what would be a considerable amount of money, termination was offered as an alternative. Very nice. Also, Lotus would embark on partnership of many motorsport categories, from karting, GP2, GP3, F1, IndyCar, GT racing, and a Le Mans prototype and a Rally Exige. So let's have a look at the proposed car lineup that was announced then. Firstly, the City car. A 3-door, 4-seater rear-wheel drive with series hybrid drivetrain. A 50 horsepower, 1.2 litre, 3-cylinder range extender engine developed by Lotus Engineering in collaboration with Fagor Edelman, an automotive company based in northern Spain. Now, this engine had already been installed in the Evora 414e Hybrid, a Lotus Engineering demo prototype, so Lotus knew the technology worked. It never got anywhere near to being put into production, and I don't reckon it would have sold very well if it had done. But electrification was already on the radar at Lotus even back then. Now, the proposed new release. Following the formula of the original release, a 2-seat mid-engine rear-wheel drive lightweight sports car. This would weigh in at around 1,095 kilos and have a mild hybrid 2-litre engine with start-stop technology, producing over 300 horsepower. I did hear that a Renault engine was suggested. How true that is, I don't know. A manual DCT transmission was on the cards, and the price was going to be a very reasonable £35,000. Interior was following along with the original release, being minimalist but more modern and up-to-date electronics. Performance was quoted as 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds and a top speed of over 160 mph. Proposed release 2015. Okay, next on the list, the new Elite. A very elegant, in my opinion, 2+2-seater front mid-engine rear-wheel drive car featuring a folding roof. This will be powered by the new Lotus 5-litre V8 with a hybrid as an option. Transmission would be DCT or hybrid gearbox with integrated electric motors and KERS, weighing in at around 1650 kilos and costing around £115,000. Very sumptuous interior and all the electronic gadgets you would expect in a car in this class. The performance was quoted at 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds and a top speed of over 190 mph. Proposed release date for this car 2014. Okay, then next on the list, the Eterne, the only one of the lineup to get a new name. beginning with an E, of course. A 4-seat, 4-door luxury car aimed at the Porsche Panamera and the Aston Martin Rapide buyers out there. Front mid-engine, rear-wheel drive with 4-wheel drive as an option. This would also be powered by the new Lotus 5-litre V8 and there would be a hybrid option. Transmission would be DCT or hybrid gearbox with integrated electric motors and KERS, weighing in at about 1800 kilos and costing around £120,000. The performance was quoted at 0 to 60 in 4 seconds and a top speed of over 190 miles an hour. I'm sure that it would have had a very luxurious interior, but as it only got as far as being a big blob of clay, I've no pictures of the interior. Proposed release for this 2015. And finally, the Esprit, a 2-seat mid-engine rear-wheel drive sports car. This would also be powered by the new Lotus 5-litre V8 and hybrid as an option. Transmission would be DCT or hybrid gearbox with integrated electric motors and KERS, weighing in around 1450 kilos and costing around £110,000. A very nice interior and all the electronic gadgets and full digital dash as you would expect in a car of this class. Performance was quoted at 0 to 60, 3.4 seconds and a top speed of over 200 miles an hour. Proposed release 2013. Well, that's the end of part 1. Please join me for part 2 where I talk more about the Esprit, some other stuff and the end of the Dany Bahar era. Until then, take care and so long.